everyone. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Boa tarde. So I hope you are all doing fine and that you're also safe, connected from the many places around Latam here in this afternoon. My name is Karina Fioresi, as you can see here in the screen to help out. I'm speaking from São Paulo, Brazil, and I'm the head of communications for crop science, for Bayer Crop Science here in Latin America. It's a great pleasure to be here this afternoon with all of you. Okay, so we have, I see here around 30 people connected here with us. So very nice to see that. We have here with us, and the big reason that we are here today, we have the 17 young students and talents from Latin America, from all the way up in Mexico, Andean countries, Brazil, coming all the way down into our continent, all the way down to Argentina. So, and you were selected among many other students around the world that did not make this far. So here I start congratulating you for being selected to represent our region in the Bayer Youth Ag Summit of 2021. So I can only imagine you have been very busy lately, getting ready for the big global event, connecting with many of our global leaders, and having interesting conversations about your projects, your initiatives, and about opportunities that you see that all connect to agriculture. So as I said, the big global event is in November. And again, I can only imagine how excited you all are, and you should be. So again, congratulations for your projects, for your activities, and all the effort and energy that you have made, that actually made you be able to be here today, okay? I want to mention that here with me today, representing our organization in Latin America, I have some colleagues, and I would like you to see them all. So if we can see the gallery view, Camila here on the screen, and I will present quickly one by one so you can see their faces. So we have Alex Meregi. So can you see? Hopefully you can see the gallery with all the videos. So Alex Meregi, he's responsible for our product supply area, where we make sure we produce all the products we deliver in the field to our customers. Also here with us, we have Abdallah Novais. Abdallah is also speaking here from São Paulo and is responsible for our climate operations here in Latin America. So everything that's related to field view that you probably heard of, and some other digital solutions that we are taking to our customers. Also here with us, I'm going in alphabetical order to make it easier here, Alejandro Girardi. So Alejandro is the head of agricultural policies and sustainability here for crop science in Latin America. Hello, Ale. And two other colleagues here, Geraldo Berger. Geraldo is responsible here as well in Latin America for everything that's related to regulatory sciences. So a very important part in the development of our products. And last but not least, as he usually says, Luis Offa is here with us also today. And Offa is responsible for the marketing activities and strategies and everything that's related to marketing here in Latin America as well. So colleagues, thank you for being here and for being able to spend this time with this exchange, okay? Also, I want to mention that our leader here in Latin America, Mauricio Rodrigues, he's the president of our operations here. He was going to be here with us this afternoon in this roundtable today, but unfortunately he tested positive for COVID-19 earlier this week. So he's right now resting and focusing on recovering his health, okay? So he was really sorry he could not be here with us today, but myself and this group here want to make sure we take the most out of this opportunity with you all. Okay, So just sharing here a little bit of what we have in the agenda today, if we can see quickly the agenda on the screen. So to make it easier, to make easier for you to understand. So we have around an hour and a half planned, okay? And the idea is to bring a short introductory presentation about our structure and focus here in Latin America, okay? How, where we are, where we produce our products, where, so how do we operate here in the continent, okay? And then we move to the main part of our opportunity, which is the dialogue session. So today it is really an opportunity for you to bring questions, comments, to share and to take opportunity to share among us information that you find relevant, okay? So we will spend around 50 minutes with this moment of questions and answers, okay? And in this time, I mean, you can always use the chat to interact, to comment, to bring a question, okay? And also the reactions here at the bottom of the Zoom to raise your hand, okay? I'll make sure, and with the help of my colleagues here, I'll make sure to follow the line and give space for everyone to speak, okay? So again, let's try to make it a real true dialogue, and we are here for that. So I already presented myself, presented my colleagues. Now it's time for you to present yourselves as well, the delegates, our LATAM delegates of 2021. So for that, we have a video, and can we please see the video on screen?
Hi, I am Sebastian Chavez. I am from Colombia and I live in Pindamo, Cauca. Our project to the YAS is the production of black sorrel fly meal. It's related to sustainability. It's an ecological and economical protein alternative.
Hello, my name is Monse Martinez and I am from Mexico. My project is called MADU. It aims to develop organic substrates that save important resources used in agriculture, such as water and fertilizers. It is directly related to sustainability, research and development, and soil nutrition and health. I am really excited to participate in this summit.
Hi everyone, my name is Joshua Sinico. I am from Guatemala. My project is called Nutritious Grain, which basically consists of creating a pea flour mixed with a cereal of ancestral grains. With the realization of this project, we can generate health and well-being and decent work and economic growth.
Hello, my name is Diana Bravo. I'm from Mexico. My project is based on the use of ectomycorrhizal fungi to create a symbiosis with the plants and protect them from soil salinity. This project is related with topics like sustainability, innovation, research and development, and others.
Hi, my name is Cristina Ocaña Gallegos and I'm from Ecuador. I'm currently in Washington State studying a master's in crop science. My Youth Ag Summit project consists in sharing quinoa with the world through the research and development of better and more resilient quinoa varieties to ensure food security, improved nutrition, and sustainable production.
Hello everyone, my name is Guillermo Martinez Martinez. I am from Mexico City. My project has to do with artificial intelligence and data science applied to agriculture so as to get valuable insights and improvements of the process to get this process as a more sustainable and digital transformative.
Hi, my name is Gavin Chidel Charles and I am the CEO and founder of Akata Farms here on the beautiful island of Grenada. My project is to continue to build sustainable farms across the Caribbean region and the globe, aim at ending hunger, ending poverty, to strengthen food security and to drive innovation led by youths.
Hi, I'm Carolina and I'm from Lima, Peru. The name of my project is Tracing Our Food. It is related to food security and sustainability. We will be there to show Northern strength in 2021 Youth Age Summit.
My name is Emiliano Agustino Barbero and I am from Córdoba, Argentina. My last project is about using microalgae to improve crop yields and also clean water in order to enhance sustainability in the agriculture sector.
Hi, I'm Sofia Sheren Sanchez. I'm from San Agustín, Córdoba, Argentina. My project deals with the use of wildfire ash as a fertilizer add-on, so it relates to research and development.
Hello everyone, my name is Bruno Ferreira and I'm a food engineer. I am the co-founder and project coordinator of the Food Bank of Bolivia, the first and only food bank in the country. I am currently working in implementing a production plan of upcycling. I am very interested in food security and in sustainable food production. I am very excited to meet you and to work with all of you.
Hi everyone, my name is Luciana and I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. My project is about the diffusion of the water footprint as an environmental and process indicator. It's also about raising awareness of the use of such an important resource for life as water is. It's related to sustainability and to efficient use of resources.
Hi everyone, I'm Carlos Andres. I'm an industrial engineering student, currently finishing my bachelor's degree here in Germany. I focus on the strategic and operational management as well in the introduction and application of new technologies and concepts in the industrial sector. I'm going to be one of the 2 delegates representing Bolivia, and I'm really happy and I look forward to meeting all of you and to work together.
We will be representing the Cono Sur region in 2021 Youth AG Summit.
Hello everyone, my name is Rafael and I'm from Brazil. I'm really excited to join with you this mission. How can feed a hungry planet? My project is about how digital agriculture can help to produce more in a sustainable way. Let's do it together. And you are the Brazilian Voice of Agriculture in 2021 YAS Summit.
And together we want to shape the future of agriculture.
Very nice. So great to meet and to have you all here with us. I think we have most of you, if not the 17, but thank you. Thank you for that. So now I would like to hand over to Alejandro so he can share with us a few slides and a few information about our operations here in Latam. Ale?
Thank you, Karina. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to this roundtable. I'd like also to thank you for the interest in participating in this Youth Ag Summit. And then I'd like you to congratulate you to be the representatives of LATAM, such an important region for agriculture and for Bayer as well. So great to see all of you. I am the Public Affairs, Science and Sustainability Lead for Bayer in Latin America. And I'm glad to see all the interest and the excitement around sustainability that you shared in the introduction. So hope to see that going forward. I'd like to start a little bit with my background. I am an engineer in agronomics. I started in Bayer more than 20 years ago. I was about the age that you are today. I was getting out of the university, and for me it was like entering into the NASA, like doing something totally extraordinary. And I can tell you, I did. It was a huge transformation that this sector had the last 20 years. By the time I joined the company, there was no biotechnology product or crop in Latin America. No-till was just 30% of the area. Farmers were still struggling to use that, and Brazil was far from being number one exporter of soybean, and all that happened in this period of time. Bayer has 3 main strategic pillars. They are innovation, digital transformation, and sustainability. And when I see all these 3 elements, I just would like to have your age back again and be in the place that you are today, because 20 more exciting years we have in front of us. So with that, I wanted to just share a couple of slides to give you a little bit more perspective on what is Bayer.
Recording in progress.
in the region. And then, with that, open up for a dialogue, as Karina introduced at the beginning, which is basically the reason why we are here. And I encourage you to take advantage of having all my colleagues here, which there's experts in the space in Latin America for sure. So I'd like to see the first slide. I have the agenda now. Can we move to the next one, please? And yeah, this is a slide that you already indicated some of the footprints and the challenges that we as Bayer has. Well, Latin America for us, it's primarily 19 countries, and we have 17 production sites. So you can imagine the busy life that Alex has managing all the big team around the 17 sites. So we are around 7,000 employees, 7,000 talents, which we are trying every day to get and attract the most valuable talents in the industry. And our invoice, it's around 4 billion euros in summary, and 23% is the size of what we are as a crop science business globally. So of course, main crops, very familiar for all of you. Soybean, corn, cotton are the biggest one, but we also have a huge interest and intervention and penetration in coffee, sugarcane, fruits and vegetables all across the different countries in Latin America. Can we move one slide, please? Here you have a visual frame of Latin America. The way Latin America is divided for us is divided in 3 main regions internally within Latin America. One of them being Brazil. The country as a whole is just one big piece of our business, and that is where the headquarters are and where I'm based as well. I didn't mention this before. I'm Argentinian, but I'm based here in Sao Paulo. Then the second big region is Cono Sur, which is Argentina and the neighboring countries of Argentina. And then we have another region which we call NORLA, which is Mexico and the North, South American and Caribbean countries. There's 4 big headquarters for each one of those. As I said before, 17 production sites, but we do have a big footprint in what research and development means. We are doing research and development locally in many of the countries in which we are participating, and for that we have 14 sites for research and development. There is a huge amount of distribution centers to help us reach with our solutions and our products as close to the farmers as we can be. And this is the reason why we have these 56 distribution centers all spread around the region and in the most or larger producing areas. Can we move one slide, please? So I want to turn it over a little bit of the mega trends that we see as Bayer. And one of them, you already touched on that. We are a growing population. The population in the world is growing. We are expecting to see 9 billion people in the world until it start to plateau that growth of population, and to have such a huge population pose a challenge for all the ones that are participating in agriculture to how do we feed and provide food to that growing population, quality food, and in a sustainable way. There's change in consumption, as all of you know, and many of you may be part of that change already. Of course, there's a consumption that is going more into vegetables, and we see new every day there's a new kind of habit of food and consumption, like not only vegetarians and vegans. There's a number of different consumption groups that are appearing every day. This is changing very recently. So the other thing is, as you all know, and by the highlight that you did in sustainability, I guess that you are already aware of this, and there's a lot of pressure on the ecosystems around the world. Agriculture is not outside of that. We in agriculture have a footprint in the world, and we aspire on how we can not only stop growing, reduce that pressure on ecosystems, and that we will talk about a little bit later. And then there's a huge progress in life science. There's new technologies. Many of you may have already heard not only biotechnology, which has been present for quite some time. We have gene editing and new other sources and technologies that are providing for us new tools that we are trying to get closer to the farmers to help him on this challenge. And then digital, it's not as any other sector, is being a huge disruption for the sector. And as my colleague and friend here, Abdallah, can tell you firsthand, we are doing a huge deal on that, and it's really transforming Bayer and the way we do business. So with that, I want to turn it over to the next slide. A little bit of our purpose, our vision, and our strategic pillars that I introduced at the beginning. Our purpose is shaping agriculture for the benefit of farmers, consumer, and the planet. We need to have these three big pieces in the puzzle. And I think that I've heard one of you mentioning about how do we shape agriculture. I guess that going back to my personal history, when I enter into the sector, as I'm passionate about agriculture, my idea was to shape agriculture, and it continues to be. I guess that one of the secrets in how I evolved in my career was always being confident that I can do my part in shaping the agriculture. And I guess that I encourage you, nobody convince you that otherwise, because you are really in a place in which you can do a lot of new changes and you can help shaping this agriculture for better. Our vision is transform this agriculture into a more sustainable food system. We are looking at the entire system, and of course we have farmers in the middle, and we believe that all of these outcome or new solutions should be digitally enabled, as you will see here. As many of you may have heard, Bayer has a vision which is health for all, hunger for none. And the three strategic pillars that we believe are going to bring us there are sustainability, is innovation. As I told you before, we have a big engine in innovation. We have a huge investment in innovation, and we have been very successful bringing new tools to the farmer, and digital transformation as a huge part of this strategy change that Bayer is undergoing. Can we move one slide, please? Can you get the full slide? There you go. Great. So let's talk a little bit about sustainability. We have a triple commitment that we have. Our CEO has committed us like 1 year ago. This triple commitment in terms of how we can contribute to sustainability talks about how we are going to provide solutions and tools for farmers to reduce the carbon footprint that agriculture has in 30%. We also would like to reduce the environmental impact of our solutions by 30%. And then the third one is we believe that we are very well equipped to reach 100 million smallholders around the world and provide them with solutions that we believe are going to help them strive and impact their lives positively. So here in Latin America, we are doing our part on all this. We have started with what we call our Carbono Pro initiative, which is a project in which we help farmers to implement sustainable practices, which will allow them to capture carbon in the soil. And if that happens, we are trying to get this with access with companies that are willing to offset their emissions by acquiring carbon and create a positive incentive for those farmers. And this is not just about carbon itself, it's about yield, it's about saving food, part of the footprint that they already does in other resources that they are using in their field and their operations. And of course, eventually get them access to enhanced financing tools and others. So we are looking to 18 million smallholders in Latin America. As you know, smallholders are much more prevalent in places like Asia, primarily in India and China, but also in Africa. But we do have a fair good of size of smallholders that we are looking closer in how we can help them strive in agriculture. So there are other areas in which we are also focused in sustainability, like biodiversity, the responsibility that farmers have when they're using our products and solutions, and of course, water use efficiency. Can we move one slide more? I'm going to talk about this customer-centric, and for us, every solution that we provide, it's aimed to the farmer. So on the construction of the solution, the farmer needs to be in the center, and that's what we already doing. And if I'm sure that Ofa will elaborate more on that in our Q&A session. But here are two good examples. One of them is Orbia. Orbia is our marketplace. It's a new platform through which farmers can access our solutions and others. Solutions is not exclusive to our solutions. There's several other things that they can acquire there, and of course, there's trading. There's a number of different offers that we have there. As farmers buy these solutions and they use them and they harvest, they have a feedback cycle that which we learn a lot. FieldView, it's our digital agriculture platform. It's a platform through which farmers can get a real-time, better data and precision data of their operations, and can help them and enable them to take better solutions. And I'm sure that Abdallah will elaborate a little bit more on this later on. Can we move one more slide, please? Well, here is describing a little bit our product design and new business models. And our product design, of course, our research and development engine, as I told you before, a large amount of our investment is dedicated to this, to create these new solutions and to transform the way we provide these solutions. But we are looking at how do we not only select new, better products, how do we incorporate farmers' view on the design of those solutions, and how we optimize those processes to reach farmers faster in this process. Then we have all the product supply team. Alex and his team comes in here to make those new solutions and distribute all those solutions to the farmers, which is a huge monumental task that we have every year, producing seed and crop protection products and bringing from our sites and operations to the farmer. And then with all these, we're looking at how we adapt new models, and which we are looking at how farmers can use those solutions in an integrated way, and how do we share with them the risk in some of these operations. These are a new set of choices that we are offering farmers to adapt faster our solutions in their fields. Can we move one more? Well, this is an important piece. Of course, we couldn't be doing this with a totally disruptive organizational setting. We are changing the ways we are leading. Leadership from the day that I entered Bayer 20 years ago towards today have been changing very, very fast, adapting to the times, but wanting to go faster than that. We are trying to change the way we work. We want to be much more agile and decisive and customer-centric. These are huge challenge for organizations that have 120 plus employees around the world. So these are a huge challenge in which we are trying to transform ourselves. And the objective here is to be flexible, to be faster, to be fitter, to attract the new talents that are available in the market, the great talents that we have, and to have them engaged to the most in order to give their best in all this process. Of course, a winning culture is needed for all of that, and we are very, very serious, and we are very committed to the inclusion and diversity of our workforce. And this has been showing a huge engagement factor for all of our employees. Can we move one more? Great. I think we are getting to the final of all this context setting. Of course, we do have a role in shaping agriculture. Bayer is a leader in agriculture in Latin America, in the space that we have. There's other spaces in agriculture. There's trading. There's other companies that are, of course, leaders in the space. But we do have a leadership in providing solutions to farmer. And with that, with leadership comes responsibility. And the responsibility is shaping a better future, a more sustainable future for agriculture and for the world. And with that, I will want to pause there. I think I gave you a lot of context and thanks to just ignite this dialogue and open up for your questions, your dialogues, and I know that we have some questions for you as well. So let's go to the roundtable, Karina.
Yes, thank you, Ale. Thank you for all this information. It's a lot of information. We could be here talking and talking and talking, but the idea is to really start the dialogue now. So thank you for that. And guys, I mean, chat is open. I started out and I see some of you reacting already. So very nice to see that. Feel free to also open your cameras and so we can see you all around LATAM. So now the time is really for us, for you to bring questions, you delegates, and our colleagues also have questions, but we would like to start hearing from you. So the topic you raised, you know that by email in the past days, we asked you to send us some of our questions. So I have them here, the colleagues that sent, and I can start with one of them asking, forgive me if I say the names in the wrong way, okay, but I'll try my best. Yonshuao Nehemias, can you hear us, Yonshuao? Great, we see you. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same here. So can you make your questions to one of our leaders, Nehemias?
Okay, my first question is to Abdallah Noais, and is how to use data science to make agriculture more technical and obtain better results in food production.
Hello, Nehemias. How are you? So first, thanks for the question, and indeed a good questions. And coincidentally, we just came out from a customer panel this morning with some leaders from Bayer, and it was really good to see the growers talking about data, but not just about data, but the importance of data being transformed into information and information being transformed into results. Because data, as you mentioned in your questions, means nothing if doesn't bring to the agriculture results. So in a nutshell, to be very simple, I can translate how we as Bayer, we are thinking on how data can transform agriculture. Everybody is saying, not just in agriculture, but in every market, that data is the new gasoline, the new petrol, right? And the reason why we believe that data is becoming the new petrol, the new gasoline, it's because data can be used in two modes. Yeah, of course, that can be used in more modes, but two modes are the most important ones. The first one is because we believe that data is going to support us, buyer, the market, and even you that are entrepreneurs and beginning your career on using data to really get out from the innovation that already exists the most. Because we already have a lot of solutions. We already have a lot of innovation that was created by people that start our journey before us. But data will support us to guarantee that we are taking the most of the innovation that already has in the market. And the second way that we as Bayer, that we believe that data is going to support agriculture, is supporting us to reinvent the way that we create business and create new business models to support growers and agriculture to keep growing. So if I can leave a message for you that are starting is guarantee that you are using the data to look to what I already have in the market and extract the most, but also start to use data to think what you can do with the data to reinvent the way that agriculture has been made in the past. So, and it's really good to see that many of your projects that you shared during the video is about that, not just about innovation, but also about using data to guarantee that more innovation will come in the future.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abdallah. And I have other question to Geraldo Berger. And my question is how to develop functional foods to, in addition to feeding humanity, contribute to the cure of the most common disease in humans through food.
You are on mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you for the question, Amy. It's really a really important consideration that we have to consider. But first of all, I would like to also to congratulate you to be part of this program. You have a very wonderful opportunity to not only present yourselves, but also have a global exchange with people of your similar backgrounds across the globe and sharing your projects, which are quite interesting. So hopefully you will have more time to dedicate it to that. Well, to give you an example of your answer for your question, Amy, is that when we look at all the crops that we grow, not only we need to develop the quantity that is required for food production, but also the quality. And the quality includes nutrition. And nutrition includes functional foods. I think the good example that we can give that it's on our table most of the days is in the fruits and vegetables area. that is a very, very important sector of production in Latin America. So we have a very intentional breeding program to improve the nutritional quality of the fruits and vegetables that we develop for our region. And not only that, you need, once you do that from breeding and developing new varieties that have an improved nutrition profile, you need to guarantee that nutrition is preserved along the production cycle of the crop, but also preserved on after harvesting. So there are several other products that needs to do to make sure that from the day that the farmer puts the seed in the ground, all the way to when it gets to the table of the consumer, we need to assure that that quality is preserved. Is it a simple thing to do? No, especially because what you ask is develop the functional foods. It's quite complex from the scientific point of view, but also on the making sure that product reach the consumers. So we in Bayer have a very dedicated intentional breeding program to improve the nutritional quality of the food crops. It's not a complete answer to you, because when you talk about functional foods or pharmaceutical, plant-made pharmaceuticals is another area that is still in development. But certainly we are in the positive practices towards having more nutritionals and better yield production in the fruits and vegetables areas that we have in Latin America. Not only that, but we are also exporters of those crops to other regions of the world.
Good.
Thank you, Geraldo.
Yes.
Functional food is one that, in addition to providing nutrients, can generate cures for very common diseases, such as diabetes or Alzheimer's. For example, in Chile, they have been doing research on this type of food, and it's very interesting. But I also wanted to know your point of view.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
This is the type of exchange that we were really excited and looking forward to. Good. I see you on the video also, Johann Sebastian. Can I invite you to bring your question?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I'm Sebastian Charles from Colombia. Nice to be here and meet all of you and the other delegates. I have two questions. The first one is for Geraldo Berger. From a research perspective, taking into account the importance of the research in agriculture, in agro-industry, in agronomy, in areas such as biotechnology, crop protection, biological control, even including the digitalization. What are the prospects for agriculture in Latin America in 5 years from a research perspective? I have seen the presentation at the beginning. I have seen the vision of the buyer. I understand more about this. But how do you see, or how do you consider that the agriculture is going to change in 5 years?
Well, Johan, thank you for your question. I think this is a very interesting subject, because as you all know, our agricultural sector is quite diverse. So when you look at the contributions of the different countries that we have in Latin America, we have a very wide range of crops that are really relevant, not only for our own sustainability, but also as a source of production and export to other regions. Today, we're seeing this with this pandemic, this imbalance in food supply across the globe. So the Americas, especially Latin America, has a very important role to play in being one of the food producers of the world. And the way I see is that the farmers, regardless of the crop, regardless of the country that he's in, he will require improved tools as we progress, so that we can improve the yield production of that crop, so that we have more food production available. So have an integrated approach is fundamental for making sure that this happens. It doesn't help if you have only breeding or only crop protection products or only biological products. We need the entire group of tools to make available to the farmer to maintain the improved production. So I think that to me, when we look at not only 5 years from now, but look at the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN set for 2030, for us to make a progress towards that, we need to work together and make sure that those integrated tools will reach to the farmers, so that we can continue to elevate the food supply, the food production, based on increased productivity. That's the key to maintain the sustainability of agriculture. So improve yield with use of integrated solutions and continuous investment in research and development. That is fundamental for us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and improve the food production in Latin America in the next 5-10 years. But it's a very interesting subject, Johan.
Thank you so much for your answer. My second question is for Luis Ofa in the area of marketing. My question is about how has the marketing strategy for crop protection has changed in the recent years, and what are the main challenges in this area related to marketing, having in account that we are now in a trend to sustainability, eco-friendly, and the people are now more conscious?
Good. Now, first of all, pleased to meet you, Johan. So it's a great pleasure to have you and all the other colleagues together with us today. And that's actually a great question, right? So that's a broad topic. If you allow me maybe to give you my perspective on that, I would say the biggest change on market strategy for crop protection over the past decade, under my point of view, it was companies moving from what I call a product-based strategy to a more customer-centric strategy. Okay, it was quite often, not to say quite normal, to see a few years ago many companies coming to the farmers to say, "I have the best product for you," and they were investing a lot in terms of branding this product, advertising this product, and mostly anchored on what we call the product features, just to make sure customers understand that one company may have a better solution than the other. No? It doesn't take too long for the organizations to realize that farmers does not have one single problem to crop and to grow all the crops that they have. That we gotta get a more holistic view in terms of how do we understand the customer needs, how do we try to look into their needs and opportunities from their eyes? And there's a kind of a change from the organizations to what I call the customer-centric strategy, to make sure we understand what are their needs, that we can bring to them not only one single product, if not, as Geraldo mentioned, solutions that addresses their issues, being with the pest management, with disease management, weed management, and going even beyond by aggregating services, being digital or on-farm services, to make sure we help them to succeed. So that's, for me, one of the biggest changes on the marketing strategy. And what I see as a challenge for the future It's given the fact that agriculture has increasing a lot over the past years, and many companies have come to the market in order to serve customers. One of the biggest challenges from my eyes is how do we make farmers understand the value proposition of our solutions? Because there's many players on the field trying to bombard customers and farmers with a lot of solutions, and make sure that they understand what is really valuable for them, not for the organizations. It's one of the biggest challenges, because today there's a lot of possibilities for them to access solutions and also to get their transactions available. So what we call this omni-channel coordination, it's one of the big challenges that we give customers and farmers, a broad availability of sources to seek for their solutions, but at the same time make them understand what really matters for them. So that's for me one of the biggest ones.
Thank you so much. Please.
Good. Thank you, colleagues. I see here, I see a hand raised.
Thank you. I have a comment. In regarding Johan's first question, I think that in Central America there are many problems in research, but it is a challenge that as a present generation we have to assume, and I believe that this space is the beginning of a good path.
Thank you, Joshua.
Agree.
Definitely. Yes. Okay. I will open up and maybe ask here. Does anyone have a question that would like to bring? Emiliano, I see you open your camera. Oh,
Yes.
Luciana as well.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hello. My name is Emiliano. I'm from Argentina, from Córdoba, Argentina. And I have one question to Luis. I wonder to know, what do you think about biologicals, like bacteria or microalgae, fungi, all of that, in order to the pandemic that we are having right now, because travel with biological like bacteria or everything else, it's a real problem right now. You have a lot of barriers to get into different countries, for example, or to take the microorganism from soil, for example. What do you think about that? If you think microorganisms will have a place in the future of agriculture?
Yeah, thanks, Emiliano. So that's another great topic. And to your question, I see biologics as a complementary tool, as an essential tool for farmers. To complement with what we call traditional, not to say chemical crop protection, in order to support and address all the issues they face on the kind of a pest control or even disease control. No? So as you mentioned, it's important that we understand that it's a different source of product. So biologicals, in a nutshell, it's a product that it's based on what we call a natural or even living organism. And that can vary between micro and macroorganisms, as you mentioned, as bacteria. And this also includes what we call semiochemicals, like the pheromones. So in a nutshell, I see biologicals as a complementary tool for growers, specifically on what we call integrated pest management or even integrated disease management, because there might be many advantages for them to get this complement from biologics. Where I see, let's say, just to give you two examples, for resistance management, this is such an important tool because I think pests has become or has an increasing pressure in tropical countries, for instance, like Brazil and in many others. So farmers need to get more options to make sure they manage resistance quite well. And biologicals can also help farmers on the way that they manage their crop, they manage their field, because there is a kind of a reduced period for farmers to re-enter the field and to make sure they keep on going their operations. Also on the pre-harvesting moment, biologicals can be an extremely important solution for farmers to make sure they control disease and pests without getting any kind of a contamination or making sure that they are delivering on a sustainable food. So that's the way that I see. Definitely, it's a very important tool for farmers. To your question, if there is a place for biologics in the future, for sure there is. Just to give you a few numbers, I think biologics, it's out of the world, the fast growing market. So we have seen biologics market growing up to 16% on a yearly basis. If I pick an example here from Latin America, countries like Brazil, we have seen the growth of biologicals surpassing 30% on what we call the CAGR. That means on a year-on-year basis over the past 4 seasons. So these numbers just prove that biologicals, it's an extremely important solution for growers.
Thank you.
Great. Good. Luciana, were you going to ask a question? Would you like?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. How are you? Thank you. I had a question for Abdallah. I wanted to know if he knows what level of adoption have programs like FieldView in LATAM. At least in Argentina, data collection is still a challenge, especially for non-so large producers. So I wanted to know if you have, I don't know, like some kind of any strategy to manage that point.
Great question, Luciana. And indeed, adoption is still something that we are trying to boost in our market. So far, FieldView in Latin America is operating in Argentina and Brazil. So in the last 2 years, we can see a great growth in terms of adoption, numbers of growers using. And something that we just are seeing is that after beginning last year, after everything that is happening because of the COVID situation, we could see that growers and people that are working in the field, they are much more aware and much more prepared also to start the conversation about digital. Everybody needed to use WhatsApp, Telegram, video calls. And it seems that this is not connected to technology in agriculture, but what we are seeing is that this is very connected to it. Because before, there were kind of a myth that growers wouldn't be able or wouldn't be willing to use technologies. And last year, because we were forced to be more digital in all of the sectors, we started to see that growers are not just asking more to use technology, but they are searching more for technologies like FieldView. And there is also a second point that is supporting technologies like FieldView to increase their penetration. That is about the new generations that is coming to the fields. So we can take an example like in Brazil, where in the last 5 years, the average of the managers of the farms has decreased around 3 years, and Argentina is happening the same. And we know that the new generations are more willingness to use technology, but once the younger generation starts to use, this is not just supporting our adoption in this specific field, but it's also supporting adoption in the neighborhood, because everybody knows that the farmers, they look to their field, but also to what the neighbors is doing. So these 2 points is supporting us a lot to increase the penetration and increase the adoption. And there is a third element that we are seeing that is being very important to increase adoption, that is about knowledge. And what I mean about knowledge? Knowledge means to guarantee that we are not just training the people that are working with digital in the field, but guaranteeing that the message is reaching growers and reaching the agronomists that are working with the growers in the field. Last year, we invented what we are calling University Field View. Basically, it's a digital training that there is around 60 hours. And the idea was not to talk about field view, but the idea is to talk about digital and how digital can support everything that we are just talking about, data and about producing in a more sustainable way. And since we implemented this University Field View, there is tremendous demand, not just from the people, from the agronomists, but also from growers to be trained on that. So if we take these 3 points, the generations, the penetration of the digital tools because of the COVID, and the facility now that we have on bringing knowledge to the field, these 3 elements, at my opinion, are going to be the ones that we need to empower if we want to increase the adoption from technologies in countries like Argentina and Brazil. But the news is that is increasing fastly. So we need, and you need as youngers in this market also to be prepared to support the growers to start this journey in the digital agriculture.
Good. Thank you, Abdallah and Luciana. And now I would like to ask Alex. Alex, can you bring a question to the delegates now, to one of them?
Yeah, sure. No, thanks, Karina. First of all, let me say congratulations to all of you for your projects and also to represent Latin America in this forum. So I think will be very well represented based on your projects. I came across with one very interesting project that caught my attention because working for Bayer, I had a chance to live in Singapore. And I remember the time that I was there, I was discussing with the Singapore urban office planning about how they could grow food on urban areas. And based on that, I have a question to Montserrat Martinez. Are you there, Montserrat?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Oh, nice to meet you. So I would like to understand more from you. How do you see the potential to really produce food in urban areas? And how do you see the big cities adopting this technology?
Well, I think according like the data that we have right now, the urban farming is a fact. It's going to happen. We don't know when. And I think the most important part is the transition. And how are we going to do that? Actually, our project kind of born because of that, because we wanted to give people around the world and around the cities the opportunity to grow their own food and at home at like these huge building departments or even in companies, right? So I think these kind of substrates that I'm actually working on is like a new kind of soil or even like a soilless cultivation. So we can bring actually these farming activities to everywhere we need it. And I think that it's a very important and a very interesting approach to the new practice of agriculture, right? So I think the most important part is to lay down a good strategy for us to do that, because in the research and development area, like the engineering of all this process and all this product is, I think, the easy part, quotation marks, because the greatest impact that we are going to have is the people accepting this, and that we don't have like specific areas in a country or a specific people that they're called farmers, but that we all can be farmers, and that this activity and this product and this benefit can be actually available to everyone. So it's just part of finding kind of the right materials and the right formulation so we can make sure that this project doesn't go against climate change or anything like that, right? So I think it's a very possible thing. I think the urban farming is going to happen eventually. We don't know when, but that we need to start preparing, like not only the youth, like the engineers in all these areas of agriculture, but also like the society in general to accept that and to be part of their own lives.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. I also would like to invite Alejandro Girardi. Can you maybe bring a question to one of the delegates?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Karina. And I'd like to go to Bruno, if I'm not mistaken the name, our representative from Bolivia. I think he was one of the ones that were in the video at the beginning. I would like to learn a little bit more about your thoughts in relation with food waste. Of course, we act a lot in food loss, which happens a lot in the field, but there's a lot of waste afterwards in the chain. And if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that you are one of the food bank leaders there, and want to learn more about that.
Hello, Alejandro. Thank you for the question. So yeah, food waste is a very big problem, and it's also a paradoxical problem because we have a lot of people with hunger issues that are undernourished, and approximately 1/3 of all the food that is produced in all the world is wasted. So if we would find a way to take advantage of all the food that we produce, we could be able to feed all the hungry people, and by a lot. The problem is that food waste can happen in lots of different places on the food chain. So it all starts with agriculture, with food production. And for example, in Bolivia, we don't have many good practices in agriculture. So we don't have good efficiency, and a lot of food that is produced there is wasted. Also, there's a big problem in distribution. In our country, in the seasons, for example, in winter season, we produce a lot of citrus fruit, of orange, of tangerines, etc. But because we don't have good vehicles, like refrigerated vehicles, a lot of it is wasted on the side of the highways. You can see when you travel from city to city, the tons and tons of oranges and tangerines that are just thrown away on the side of the highway. And lastly, consumers are also a big part of food waste, because we are used to buying a lot more than we need. And I think I can speak for everyone that we have bought, for example, I don't know, an avocado or a fruit, a vegetable, and haven't used it, and we needed to throw it away. For example, I'm right now on vacation here in the United States, and something that really disturbs me is that here the food comes in large portions. Like you go to a restaurant and everything is like so big that people cannot eat all of it. So a lot of it is wasted, and those sorts of practices we need to change for us to get a better use of food. So yeah, we need to work in a lot of different places to solve this problem.
Thank you, Bruno.
Great, thank you. Guillermo, I saw you had your camera open. Would you like to bring a question?
Yeah, thank you. I was just about to ask if I can give the question after that.
Sure.
So, my that I sent through the Google. Where can you hear me?
Yeah, your connection, I think, was a bit bad, but now we can continue.
Yes. Okay. Thanks. I was my questions that I sent through the Google Forms were some sort of answer through the session. So now I'd like to change it a bit. I am also a data lover and a data-driven decisions believer. So in that sense, my question goes like how could we do the first step? I mean, diving into the data, understanding it usually takes a period of time, but is there any way, like open source databases of crop science, like a specific plant production database available, so as to we can to really start doing the first steps, diving into the data, understanding each value of these ones, so then we can potentially find these leaks in the efficiency of the process. So did I get my point across? Something like that.
Yeah, and I think maybe Abdallah could help us with that. It was more related to data analytics. Is that it?
Thanks.
Yeah. Hi, Guillermo. Yeah, as you mentioned at the beginning, the word of data is kind of crazy because we can really be lost in translation if we don't know where we want to land, right? So I can share at least what we are trying to do here, right? Because this data journey, it's not new for a company like ours. Bayer is investing in data since many years, and when we talk about innovation in germplasm, innovation in crop protection, that's also about data. But something that is changing in the last years is that now, because of the digital world, because of field view and other platforms, we can embed our data, our internal data, with data that is being collected together with the growers. And that's a dramatic change, because before we were kind of locked in our world as Bayer, and then we invented a product, and then we gave the product for the growers, and the growers use the product. But now, what this digital world is allowing us is connecting our data with the data that is coming from the market, coming from the growers, and then using this real data to change some of the process that we have inside our organization. And the objectives of that, it's of course to be able to more fast and more rapid answer some questions that those growers have in their field. So, and the way that we are doing that is really simple, is to start maybe raising some questions about what are the questions we want to answer using the data that growers are collecting. I can give you one example. When we plant corn or soybean, it's very important to guarantee that growers are using the right level and the right amount of seeds per hectare, the right level of seeds per square meter in their field. But one thing is you to send this message for the grower. Another thing is to guarantee that they are really implementing it. And now with technology, what we are being able to do is that once the grower is planting their season, because of the data that they are collecting, we already know if they are using the right amount of seeds. And if they're using the wrong amount, we can send notifications for them on real time to say, grower, you should be using 1,000 seeds per hectare. You are just using 20,000 or 80,000. you need to change that. Otherwise, you are going to produce less in the end of the season. 5 years ago, the grower, they will be, just in the end of the season, understanding what happened because of the low yield. But now, because of digital, we can take this information real time and to give a feedback when the grower is planting. And then maybe he's not going to plant the whole land with the wrong amount of seeds, and then the impact will be less dramatic than was in the past. So this is just one example that data is allowing us not just to transform our process in a more efficient one, but also to connect this information with what growers is doing in real time and supporting them to avoid to have more impact during the season, because data has been shared, and with data has been shared, we can provide more information on real time for them. So just one example on how we are connected dots here on supporting growers to take better decision using data once they share that with us.
Great.
Okay. So just to wrap up the final idea, could we say that the growers are the first source of data?
They should. Today, not yet, but in the future they will be a huge source of data, and that's a tremendous biggest opportunity for young guys like you, because if data is available, there is much more space for young entrepreneurs to understand what is possible to do with this data to create even more value for their growers. So this is at least what is happening outside agriculture. If we look the disruption that is happening in other markets, it's because data is available and there is a lot of startups and companies using their data to deliver better services for consumers. So, and that's of course will happen as well with the agriculture as soon the adoption that Luciana raised increased. So if adoption increase, and we believe adoption will increase, more data will be available and more opportunities for companies like Bayer, but also for startups and entrepreneurs to start creating value also for growers.
Okay,
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guillermo and Abdallah. I see your hand raised, Emiliano, but I would like to take the chance here to maybe open for someone who has not brought any questions still. I mean, we are coming to an end. We have time for one more question. Any other colleague would like maybe to ask also among you, delegate to delegate? Anyone? Well, if not, I have then a question and regarding to my area here, communications, and it's to you, Diana. We see, no, actually I got confused here, which was about the communication between farmers and digital tools. But I see you open your camera, Diana. Would you like to bring a question?
Yes, hi everyone, I'm Diana, I'm from Mexico, and I have a question for Geraldo. My question is, what is the perspective of Bayer about 3D footprinting?
That's a very interesting subject, because when we think about what the possibilities of imprinting many different things, you can probably generate any food anywhere, anytime. But we have probably the pieces of the technology, but we don't have all of that assembled to make it real at this point in time. I think we're in the early stages of that. We don't have any specific project within Bayer on that, but I follow that conversation because I think to me is really important, because allows you to produce food, as I said, from anywhere. But I think it will take a few years for us to get there. But definitely is one of the additional tools that we'll have for making food available in places that are difficult to get fresh foods, for example.
Thank you.
Good, great. Would you like to bring your point, Emiliano?
Yes, I saw the information that Alejandro sent to Bruno about long life tomatoes. And that brings me another question is about GMOs. Because when we talk about GMOs with the common people in, I don't know, in Córdoba or Buenos Aires, and they said that GMOs are here to kill us all. I don't know why they have that perception of GMOs and how we can change it in order to explain that GMOs are here to help us.
I may take that. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
No, maybe I start here and then you complement, and also you, Gerald. I think that's fair and right what you meant, Emiliano, because behind the GMOs, there's a lot of science-based facts. And I think sometimes we should not even expect that everyone get a full understanding what does that mean. No? I think what is important is that we keep on educating the overall society. That GMO, it's one of the biggest, and not to say the main change agricultural phase 20 years ago to help farmers to address all the challenges they have in terms of addressing pest control, weed control in a kind of a sustainable manner. Because as soon as they get the benefits of a GMO, if we look to the soil with the no-till planting, there's a lot of benefit without revolving the soil, keeping the carbon on the soil, and supporting all the issues that we are facing as a planet with all the climate changes. This is also helping less spraying on a kind of aerial pest or even disease control, because as soon as we have a trait within a plant that helps a farmer to better control insects, there was less spray on the top, that it's not only about less chemical in the environment. If not, the tractor is not running over the field, there is less oil being consumed by a tractor. So there's multiple impacts that sometimes are not that easy for people to realize the benefits of such a technology as GMO in a kind of a broad perspective. So maybe I pause here because for sure you, Ale, and you, Geraldo, may have something else to add.
Yeah, no, just 1 more minute. I guess you saw the excitement when you raised the question, Emiliano. We all wanted to jump in and provide some perspective. There's a lot of things, you know. I believe this is one of these areas in which I don't think it's specific to GMO. I think it's agriculture in general. There is a lot of misconception and lack of understanding, and we need to communicate much more. We believe biotechnology is another tool in the tool set that we have. There's a lot of other things that we are using today to address issues for the farmer. We believe that that perspective that you brought, it's there, has been reducing a lot. We track that very often. The rejection of GMOs have been reducing a lot from the beginning. It was something that was perhaps not known by the society, perhaps not very well explained, and with a unfair perception from society.
This, as you can see, this is a very passionate subject for all of us. And I'll be very brief. We could talk for hours about this, but I'll take back to you and all of you that are here today, because you are a young scientist generation that will go into the marketplace, if not now today. But you have the opportunity to share your experience, to share your knowledge, and to demonstrate that science will win. Because I think this is the basis. The only reason why GMOs are still today here is because there is a solid science behind. So everything that is said about GMOs has not been proven right because the science is correct. So I think you have a role to play to help us communicate, and educate the society about that. So thank you for the question.
Yes, definitely. A lot of information to share, and we could stay here all afternoon long. So again, I think these were very nice closing remarks. There's a lot of information we can share, and we are willing to do so. So we expect that this is just the starting of a group conversation that we can continue. You have your local point of context regarding YAS. And so I can only encourage you to maybe send the questions, any other questions, or ask for information to them, and they will make sure to come to us so we can share more. And also I encourage you to exchange, to get together as a group now that you know you're 17 as a group is also a strong opportunity for you to exchange and to grow as a group and be able to represent us even more in the global event in November. Okay, if I can come back to the gallery view, Camila, because I would like to propose a group picture of all of us now, so we can have this as a good memory. Can we? I see Geraldo on screen only. Yes, let me go back. Okay, good. Can somebody help me with that? Camila from Supernova, can you help us just get a nice picture of this very diverse and big group?
Yes, yes.
Going once, going twice. Good. Yes.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the ride.
Yes, enjoy this journey, which is just beginning. Thank you again for being here, for exchanging, and all the best to you. Bye-bye.
Congrats, team. Bye-bye.